Walk down the supplement aisle at any pet store, and it's overwhelming. Shelves and shelves of pills, powders, and chews, every label promising to add years to your dog's life, every one of them sounding essential. You stand there holding two or three bottles, wanting to do right by your aging dog with no real idea which of these actually does anything. So let me cut through all of it for you. If your dog is over 8, there is one supplement with more real scientific backing than almost anything else on that shelf, and it's probably not the one the marketing pushes hardest. I'm Dr. Ryan Mercer. In 15 years of practice, I've watched the supplement world balloon into a billion-dollar guessing game, and most of what's sold is built on hope, not evidence. But this one is different. This one has been put through actual clinical trials in real dogs, and it keeps proving itself. The number one supplement I'd reach for in an aging dog is omega-3 fatty acids, the good ones, from fish oil. Now, I know fish oil sounds almost too simple, too ordinary to be the answer. Stay with me, because what it does inside an aging body is anything but ordinary. The two omega-3s that matter are called EPA and DHA, and they come from marine sources, from fish. Their superpower is calming inflammation. And inflammation, that low, smoldering, body-wide fire, is at the root of so much of what makes an older dog's life smaller. The stiffness getting up in the morning, the reluctance on the stairs he used to fly up, the slow, careful way he lowers himself to the floor now. A lot of that is arthritis, and arthritis is an inflammatory disease. Here's where the evidence gets genuinely impressive, and why I single this out above the rest. Multiple randomized controlled trials, the gold standard of research, have shown that omega-3 supplementation produces real, measurable improvement in dogs with osteoarthritis. We're not talking about owners imagining their dog seems peppier. In these studies, dogs actually bore more weight on their sore limbs, moved better, and showed fewer signs of pain. In one well-known study, dogs on fish oil were able to reduce the dose of their anti-inflammatory pain medication. Think about what that means for an old dog. Less reliance on stronger drugs with their own risks, because a natural anti-inflammatory was doing some of the work, and the joints are only the beginning. Because those same omega-3s calm inflammation everywhere, veterinarians use fish oil to support the skin and coat, the heart, the kidneys, the brain, and more. For a dog over 8, whose body is fighting little fires on several fronts at once, that broad, gentle, anti-inflammatory effect is exactly what the aging body is hungry for. It's not a cure for any of these things, but as daily support for an older body, very little else on that shelf has this kind of track record. So why doesn't everyone already know this? Take a breath, because here's where I have to be the honest vet and not the salesman. And this part matters more than the hype. Just because something is natural does not mean it's automatically safe, and fish oil is a perfect example. Given correctly, it's one of the most useful supplements I know. Given carelessly, it can cause problems. Too much fish oil can lead to digestive upset and loose stools. It can affect how the blood clots and increase bleeding risk. And at high doses, it can interfere with the immune system and throw off the balance of other nutrients. This is a real supplement with real effects in the body, which is exactly why it works, and exactly why you can't just eyeball it. That's also why the starting point isn't a number from the internet. It's a conversation with your vet. The right amount of EPA and DHA depends on your dog's weight, his health, and what else he's dealing with. And veterinary teaching hospitals actually publish dosing guidance for this. A sensible vet-backed approach is to start low, often a fraction of the maximum dose, and increase slowly while watching how your dog tolerates it. That's the kind of detail your vet should set with you, especially if your dog already takes any medication, has a bleeding tendency, is heading for surgery, or has an existing condition. Please don't skip that step. The supplement that helps your neighbor's dog could interact with something your dog is on. There's one more trap I want to save you from, because the aisle is full of it. Not all fish oils created equal. Quality genuinely matters here. You want a product that actually contains meaningful amounts of EPA and DHA, the two that do the work, not just vague omega-3 on the front of the label, and ideally one that's been processed and tested for purity, since fish can carry contaminants. A cheap bottle that's gone rancid or barely contains the active ingredients isn't a bargain, it's a waste. and rancid oil can do more harm than good. Your vet can point you toward brands that meet a real standard, and that single piece of guidance is worth the visit. Now, let me address the supplement you probably expected me to name because it's the one plastered across every senior dog product. Joint supplements with glucosamine and chondroitin, they're hugely popular, and they're generally very safe, and plenty of owners feel they help. I'm not telling you to throw them out, but I'll be straight with you. The hard scientific evidence behind them is much weaker and more mixed than the evidence behind omega-3s. So if you're going to invest in one supplement and you want the one with the strongest proof behind it, that's why I point to fish oil first. Everything else is a maybe. This one has earned its place. Let me also say what no supplement can do, because this is where loving owners sometimes lose the plot. A capsule is not a substitute for the basics that actually run your dog's life. Keeping him at a lean, healthy weight does more for sore joints than any pill ever will, because every extra pound is load on those aching legs. Gentle, regular movement keeps muscle on his frame. A good diet, soft bedding, traction on slippery floors, and regular checkups, those are the foundation. Omega-3s are a powerful addition to a good plan. They are not a rescue for a bad one. Think of fish oil as one strong instrument in the orchestra, not the whole symphony. One more honest expectation, because this is where people give up too soon. Fish oil is not a painkiller you give in the morning and watch work by lunch. It builds up in the body and calms inflammation gradually, so the benefits show up over weeks, not hours. In the research, it often took a month or two of consistent daily dosing before the improvement in movement really showed. So if you start it, give it a fair chance, stay consistent, and watch for the quiet signs: an easier time rising, more willingness on the stairs, a little more spring on a walk. Don't decide it isn't working after 4 days. Patience is part of the prescription. So here's what I'd do this week. Don't buy anything yet. Instead, make a quick note of everything your dog already takes, every food, every chew, every medication, and bring it to your next vet visit. Then ask one simple question. Given my dog's age and health, would omega-3 fish oil help him? And if so, what dose and which kind do you trust? In 5 minutes, you'll have a plan that's actually built for your dog instead of a cabinet full of guesses. And I have to be clear, the way I always am, I can tell you what the research shows across dogs. In general, I cannot examine your dog through a screen or know his full history. Only your vet can tell you whether this is right for your specific dog and at what dose. Let me leave you with this. Owner to owner, I know why you're standing in that aisle. It's the same reason you clicked on this in the first place. You're trying to buy a little more good time with a dog who's given you everything, and you're hoping something on that shelf can help. The honest truth is that there's no magic in a bottle. But there is something real here. Used wisely with your vet's blessing, a quality fish oil can help take some of the ache out of those old joints and support a body that's working hard to keep up with a heart that still wants to play. That's not a miracle. It's just good, evidence-based care. And the fact that you're trying to get it right instead of grabbing the flashiest label tells me your old dog is in very good hands. If this helped you make sense of that overwhelming aisle, stay with me, because caring for an aging dog well is mostly about knowing what truly helps and letting go of what just sounds good.